Hello YouTube, I'm Rick Stivers. I'd like to welcome you to Young Martin's Reels. Today's project is going to be this basket case Lew's BBC 1C2 Browning reel. And this thing is, well, let's just say it's seen better days. It is an incredibly rough reel. Wait till you see it as we go through it. It is an absolute mess, and it's very tight. This one come from Mario, and I told Mario I didn't have time to do a video on it, but when I saw what this reel was, the kind of condition it was in, I said, well, this one I might make an exception for. So we're going to go ahead and knock this reel out, and we're going to start off by, oh, by the way, the button does not stay. Let's see, hang on, maybe. There we go. The button will stay, and it actually spins pretty good as far as it would be able to cast okay, but it's really tight when you try to turn it. I'm not real sure where the problem is there, whether it be lack of grease. It doesn't appear that this is too tight because, hey, it spins pretty good. So the problem seems to be in the gear train. It does release back. The flipping portion is functional. And let's see about drag. Yep, it's got pretty decent drag. The balance, the casting weights, although all the instructions here is missing, but that seems to be functional. And let's take this thing apart and see what we can do with it. We're going to start off by taking off the handle and the drag star. And I think I'm going to slap a little black paint on there. This guy here is pretty corroded up, but it doesn't appear to be damaged too much, so we're going to put it into clean. Let's unscrew the drag knob. And it does have a clicker in it. Okay, there's the clicker for it, right there. Okay, we've got a clicker cog right there that fits to that, so that's pretty easy. All right, then we've got a keyed washer right there, and it's some type of a shimming washer. I don't know, it's got a shim washer on it. There we go. And okay, well, that looks like it's made to actually fit down inside something, so we'll set that over to the side. And all right, at this point we're ready to start taking the rest of this apart. So let's undo these 3 screws, and I believe these 3 screws will allow the left side plate to come off. Now, first, gotta pop this up. Okay, yeah, that allows that side. Yeah, it's pretty dirty in there. And this one I'm going to clean by hand because I'm afraid of putting it in the parts cleaner because of the magnets in here. I don't know what it might affect, so I'm going to leave that alone. We're going to oil this bearing. It does have a bearing, and the bearing seemed to be working fine a while ago when we were spinning it, so I'm not too worried about what's in there. I just want to get all this other stuff out of the inside. Let's see, does the spool will come out at this point. Okay, we'll set that over to the side. It needs a little cleaning, but aside from that, it looks okay. All right, man, this thing is dirty. Can you see how dirty this is inside? This was found in a shed. Nobody knows how long it had been there, but it's in pretty rough shape. All right, let's go ahead and take out, let's leave that up. And let's take out these 2 screws. Okay, I'll set those over there. Let's set. Okay, I think we're gonna have to take this screw off for this handle, for the flipping, or lever for the flipping portion. I'll set that screw over there. It's got a lock washer on it. And let's see if that was enough to free. Yeah. Okay. Take that lever off. And now we'll take this part off. Oh yeah, pretty nasty inside. Definitely got to do some cleaning down inside there. It's pretty corroded. And is this an anti-reverse in here? Yes, that is an anti-reverse, and I didn't check to see if that worked. All right, and I wanted to see. Nope, it does not fit in there. Okay, so I'm not sure why that's made like that. All right, let's test our anti-reverse since we don't know if it works or not. Let's go ahead and see if we can get this to go on. There we go. Because I did not check anti-reverse when I was doing the ops check on it. All right, slide that down. Oh yeah, anti-reverse bearing's working fine. Our clutch. Yeah, that's working fine. So we can clean that up. But yeah, we'll have to clean all that. Now this I can put in my parts cleaner and clean it, and hopefully all this mess in here will come out. Okay, let's go over here. And once before, I dealt with one of these that had this flipping mechanism on it, and I really had trouble getting that thing to go back the way it was supposed to. So I'm going to take really careful video here that shows every part of that and how it's set up and how that spring goes. Right there. Okay, that's coming up. Can you see it? There we go. All right, that portion of the spring goes in this hole. This one comes up here and goes in this hole. Let's go ahead and take these two springs off. I'll put them over with that part that needs to go in the cleaner. All right. And what on earth is going on there? Oh, that's what it's supposed to be. Okay. And we push this. Yeah, that's the ramp. Okay, we've got two ramps here. That's it. This is where you can see it. I'm going to bring it up a little bit. Nope, you can't get focused there. I'm going to have to zoom in. All right, when we zoom in, there's a ramp right there, and there's a ramp right there. And this is set up for these ramps to rotate around the yoke. See how they rotate around and push up the yoke? Like that. Okay? And that's going to be the part that engages and disengages this pinion. Okay? All right, and it's what the part that it's actually going to engage, it's staying in contact with this gear at all times. See, no matter how that goes, that pinion gear is always in contact with the main gear. The part of that that's going to activate is down inside here, and you can't see it right now because this is in here, but there's a flattened out part inside on the other side of this that fits up against this, and that sliding into that and out of that is what locks it in and out of spool release. Okay, let's go ahead now. Let's take this off. Is that a bearing or a bushing? That is a bushing, okay. And it definitely needs to be cleaned up. It is steel, and it actually appears to be stainless steel. All right, so that goes there. Let's go ahead and take the main gear off and see what we have inside here. We're going to zoom back out now. Okay, the main gear is off. Okay, there is a shim washer right here that went underneath that. Okay, so you get this shim washer stacked up with this guy. Okay, he's going to go under it. All right, let's get that out of the way. And what do we got next? Got this drag washer, and he fits in there on top of this drag washer. All right, now this drag washer may or may not come out. He's been in there a long time, and I'm afraid that messing with it too much is going to crack it. And I don't have a replacement for it, so I think we're just going to leave that in there and clean it up best we can. All right, on the back side, now this one, Yeah, that one will come off easily. Okay, I'm going to try ever so gently to get this one to come out. There, it did come out. Okay, good. Yeah, see, I wanted to clean any corrosions underneath there. But that seems like it's going to work okay. So we'll clean that out as best we can. And we'll get this gear cleaned up. That goes over here. Now, what do we got down here? We have our ratcheting plate. Now, this plate, does this come off of here? Yes, it does. Okay, so it's got to go in. Look at how it goes in. It goes in like this. Okay, and as this winds, wow, you wouldn't think it would go that way. Oh, yeah, it does because it has to hook on. Okay. Normally, things like this kind of slip by, but in this case, it doesn't. What it does, when this comes around, see that right there? Let's zoom in. Okay, when this comes down, it pushes that over, and that engages in that ratcheting plate. And when you ratchet this around, it's going to push that over, and that's the reset. It pushes the button back up. Pretty nice. Very easily set. Okay, we're going to take the yoke off. Maybe we are. Maybe we aren't. It may not come off of there. These have been flared on the ends. People cranking down those 2 screws. I think we might decide to just leave that on there, because I think we can take that off and we can take the pinion out, and all of that can stay, and we can clean all the rest of this in place. It doesn't have to come out in order to be cleaned. So that looks good. And basically what we've got here is a bunch of old grease, and that's what's causing this to be so tight when we're trying to turn it. Okay, let's see what we're going to do with this guy now. Let's back up. All right, this is our worm gear. If you look underneath, you'll see, there it is. Okay. All right, we're going to unscrew this cap right here so that we can get to the pawl. There we go. And I'm going to try to see if I can get that pawl to just kind of tap out. It does not want to. Okay, we want to look and see if there's a washer in there. There's not. Okay. I'm hoping that that is a, let's see if it's going to turn when it gets to the end. Yeah. Okay, now let's try tapping it. Still doesn't want to come out of there. Man, that thing looks plastic. It really does. It does not look like a metal pawl. And I really wanted to take this all the way out. But if we can't get that out, then we will have no choice but to leave it. Let me see if I can hook a razor blade into the corner of it and get it to come out. It does not want to come out. So let's put a little WD-40 in there and let's spin it around a little bit. Take it the other way. Do the same thing on the other end. Okay, let's try tapping it out again. It's starting to come. There we go. All right. Very gently grab the sides and see if we can. Try it again. There we go. And yes, it is filthy. And yes, it is a plastic pawl. I have never seen a plastic pawl before. Okay. Now we're going to put that over to clean. And we're now going to take out this C-clip over here, or E-clip. There we go. It's got that out. It goes in the cleaning pile. Is there a washer over here? That doesn't appear to be. Okay, now we can take this worm gear and slide it out. And that will allow us to clean this worm gear. And I think if this is going to stay, I think we're going to leave it right where it's at. And not take any more of that out. And we're going to clean all the rest of this up right where it sits. And let's see if I think I ought to take that out. I don't think so. I think that's okay right where it's at. Should have a pin holding it, either that or a screw. I don't see a screw cap in it. I don't see a pin. Oh, it's because it's held down here at the bottom. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take that out so you can see how it goes. All right, we're going to take out these two screws right here. Because this is a solid shaft. This is not a hollow shaft. Most of these are hollow, and they fit over a solid shaft. This one does not. Okay, we're going to dump those two screws right there. They're tiny, so you don't want to lose them. We'll set them over. They don't need to be cleaned because they are clean. And we'll take and slide this little metal plate out. It's a locking plate that holds that shaft in. Like that. There we go. I'll set that with the screws. Now that plate should be cleaned. And now, with that done, this piece comes right out. Let's see if there's a shim washer here. There is not. Is there one under here? There is not. Okay. So it's got this guy off. And we will clean and lubricate and put that back. And we probably could, if I didn't want to show you, I could have just probably put some grease or oil on that and it would have been fine. Okay, we'll set that over there with those. And because this doesn't want to come off, I think we're going to leave it in place and not take these springs and such loose. And we're going to clean them right where they are. All right, so I'm going to clean this on video, but it's probably going to be in fast forward for you guys. I'm going to sit this onto a rag and my board. I have a cleaning board that I use to clean my parts. And it's nothing more than an old maple board, like so. And what I do is I take this thing and I lay my parts on it, and usually I will use a rag as well, like so, and set my parts down, and we'll give it a good spray of WD-40. And try to get a little bit into everything, every little crevice. And with that done, what I do is I will start with one of these little brushes, and I will just go around and I will start scrubbing all the parts, trying to get all of the grease and dirt and everything else off. There is a shim washer there. Remember I said there wasn't? Well, there is, and there it is. It came loose with the scrubbing. So we're gonna set that over there. Okay, is there another shim washer? No. Okay. And we just start cleaning this everywhere that we can see that there's dirt. Like so. All right, parts have been in the parts cleaner for a while. Only 5 minutes. I didn't even get it hot. I didn't want to remove the paint, so I was very careful not to do it very long. Okay, let's dump the parts out here and let's take a look at what we have. See how much they cleaned up. That looks a lot better. Okay. Got a little cleanup left to do on there. Let's see how our worm gear came out. He's got some work to do still. I might want to put him back in. Let's take a wire brush to him for a second though. And let's see how it comes out. All right, I'm gonna wipe this off. Give him a quick look-see. And all except right there. There we go. Use my fingernail a little bit. There we go. I think that looks fine. All right. That part's clean. All right, I got this little attachment here on my Dremel, and we're gonna put it on here. Let's see what we got. 2,000. That might be a little fast. Let's bring it down 1,000. And all I plan to do is gently run this around the inside of this, just so that if there's anything on there, it should kind of take it off. Oh yeah, that feels much better inside. Yeah, there was some kind of stuff in there, because this is definitely taking stuff off. And let's hit a little on the inside edge here. All right. Okay, let's take a look at it now. That looks considerably better. Now, mineral spirits will not dissolve rust. All right, so it's not going to take any of that out. What will do it though, I'm going to put this into a vinegar solution and run that in my cleaner with some vinegar, and that hopefully will dissolve most of that rust. Prior to doing that though, I've got to rinse it off with some acetone, because I got to get the oil off, because it's kind of a playing game. The acetone will not, or sorry, the mineral spirits will not dissolve the rust. The yeah, but the vinegar cannot work through the oil that was on there, oil and mineral spirits that was on there. So you got to get the mineral spirits back off with some acetone so that the vinegar can get in to do the cleaning. All right. I think that will do. We're going to put this in now and run it with some vinegar. All right, this part went into the alcohol for a while, and it seems to have taken a lot of it out. It isn't perfect, but it is a lot better than it was. And I think we can probably push this out. Nope, will not push out. Okay, which means it's probably designed to push in to remove. So I'm going to have to clean it in place out because I'm not going to take that little tiny, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little tiny snap ring down in there. And I don't really have a desire to take that little, to fiddle around with that little snap ring, at least not on this reel anyway. I've probably already put more effort into this reel than the reel is actually worth. It's in really rough shape, but I would like to try to get it functional for Mario. It was his dad's, I believe, and he would like to be able to go out and fish with it. So I'm going to do the best I can at trying to clean it up. But I also want to do no harm. All right. And when you're doing this work, that's the #1 goal, is to not break the reel to the point where it's not usable anymore. And a lot of people manage to break them, and I've broken my share. So there are times when I take a look at things and go, yeah, okay, I think that's as far as we need to take it. Okay. All right, that's got that clean. What do we got in the ball from the parts cleaner? Let's see what we got in here. All right. These are parts that we put in to try to get some of the corrosion and rust off of. All right. That one cleaned up nicely. The tension washer, oh yeah. Everything came off of that. That looks great. Okay. How about this pawl? I swear, I have never seen a plastic pawl before. And I certainly expect to hear some comments in the comment section about this plastic pawl. But you know, it feels awful hard for plastic, which makes me wonder if it's maybe a ceramic. But I would think that ceramic would be too fragile to use in a pawl. But I guess I could be wrong. I mean, they use it to make knives, so why couldn't you use it to make a pawl? Okay. Well, here's what I'm going to do, folks. My test for this is going to be to bite on it. All right, that is not plastic. That is much harder than plastic. And it's got almost a gritty texture, which I'm thinking that this is actually a ceramic pawl. And I haven't seen that done before. So it seems to be in excellent condition. All right. Here's our pawl cap. Okay, so I think we're ready. Well, no, I thought this looked clean enough, but now that it's dried, see that it doesn't look so good. So WD-40 did not clean all the dirt off. It actually looked pretty good when it was wet. It was still wet with WD-40 and mineral spirits. But now it's not looking so good. So it's going to the sink to see if we can take some dishwashing detergent and a brush and a scrub. And somewhere here I've got a toothbrush that I will use on it. And we'll scrub it again and see if we can't make it look better than this. This looks bad. This side over here looks okay. This side I would consider acceptable. Or almost acceptable. So let's take this bad boy in and take some hot soapy water to it and see if we can't make it look better. All right, I've spent almost an hour and a half cleaning on this now, and there's still, everywhere I look, there's still something else on it that needs to be scrubbed off. And but I believe that I have managed to get into all of the important places where, yeah, it may still have dirt and stuff on here in hard to reach places, but they're not places that are affecting any operation of the reel. So I think we're going to stop cleaning at this point and work on seeing if we can get this bad boy back together and